Hey everybody, Radamon here. Thanks for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included. So last episode we got our observatory up and running. I just wanted to go over some feedback I received. So one is from Aziraphal. Aziraphal mentioned it would be useful if I extended my mesh out a little bit to prevent any debris from falling on my checkpoint below, and I agree. So I'm going to extend my mesh out and also the bunker doors as well to allow for a much more complete reduction of heat up here. Another question was, why am I not using auto sweepers and conveyor loaders for all of this regolith? Well, one, this regolith is rather worthless to me unless I make a regolith melter or something like that, but that's a rather complex project that I don't wish to jump into. Another is that the conveyor loaders and auto sweepers, they're heavy machinery, which reduces the effectiveness of your space scanners. So you can't really add that kind of heavy machinery. What you can do is you can add a sweepy. So what I could do, if I wanted to, is to sweep this with a sweepy dock. But I don't intend to ever really collect this regolith. But maybe I will set this up to be swept. Alright, so we'll start to get that part built. And then once that's built, I can queue it up to be swept. But while we do that, this episode, I'm also going to focus on volcano taming. So we have got a gold volcano here that I would like to, well, tame, I guess. While we also work on this project, I also want to get the glass forge going as well. So both of these, essentially I'm going to have a whole lot of little projects, I guess. That's the way to put it. So the glass forge will be first, and then the volcano taming. And in order to start the volcano taming, I am going to want to excavate the area and leave the volcano intact until I'm ready to tackle it. But that also means sweeping up really all the debris around it, which is a sizable task because there's a lot of debris. So it will take a hot minute. It will definitely take a hot minute. And I would also like to improve my setup up here so that it meets the standards that I would like for it to meet. So that means, one, running a conductive wire power out to these bunker doors. Another thing to note is if I am extending the doors and the mesh network out this far, it's going to be very tricky putting in my rocket. I will maybe build the rocket here as a result, but I'm really going to have to figure that out, as it's not so easy to figure out exactly where it's going to go, given the layout. Alright, more conductive wiring. And our telescope's already idle again. A metallic asteroid. And we'll start to run space missions when you all vote that is my next project. Once the volcano taming is done, I will have you all propose new projects and vote on them like I said I would. Alright. So this is a very sweepy dockable setup here. But what I'm going to do is extend the mesh even further out. And that means setting the conductive wire and the automation wire out as well. Everything should be sealed for temperature's sake. And then I'm going to cancel the sweep orders that I have here. I don't want them to sweep anymore. Telescope's already idle, so we'll just keep analyzing further and further out. Now, as you can see, this auto miner is going to just continue to mine the area here, so I might as well get a bunker door out this far as well. And this is all sort of part of the plan, so it will make more sense once I'm all set up and done. Now another issue is that if I check the temperature here, as you can see, this robo-miner is heating up. I'm going to eventually run cooling lines for these robos so that they don't burn up. So that's another project to be had at some point. And then these robo-miners are going to need to be paired with additional robo-miners so that they can mine each other's tops, so they don't get burrowed or covered. So in extending this out, there's a lot more to be done. A lot more to be done. So utilities, temp shift plate, and I am now at a diamond. So that also means mining up some additional diamond down here, which is fine. I already have a diamond mine all laid out and everything. So that will be the ultimate width. And then the idea is to use sweepies to sort of sweep up everything here. Now what I won't be getting is the regolith that is on top of the mesh tiles. There's really just not an easy way to remove that. I could engineer a solution, but it may not be worth it. Because remember, of course, any sort of, like, I'll just demonstrate. I'll build a sweeper up here. What is this made out of? I don't even know. Lead? Oh boy, that's going to break immediately, so forget that. Hello, I'd like to cancel. Oh, my cancel is not for all. Okay, yep. So I'll show you what happens when you put a sweeper here in terms of the setbacks to scanning quality. Okay, one more diamond. Come on. Come on. And then this also means that all of this can be mined, all of this can be mined, and that's just more sweeping as well. But this is starting to look more completed, which is good. Did someone mine up diamond for me? They did. Most excellent. Alright, there we go. Telescope's idle. And we'll just keep scanning further and further and further out. Glossy Drecos are starving. Oh yeah, so they are. That is because it is too hot. Well, I could fix that. I think it's because the hot oxygen that is being radiant piped out of here is heating this up. Let's see, is that 3? That 3 doesn't exactly hold. But I will cool it down as best as I can. The regular Drecos seem to be fine. Also had a new printable. So we are going to put Wheezeworts in here as a high priority, just to get the temperature down so they don't starve to death, because that's not a good way to treat your pets. Alright, so if you take a look at the quality here, so far, actually, the machinery, this auto sweeper, hasn't affected it. So yeah, it might be possible to sweep. Let me. I don't think it's the auto sweeper that causes the problem. I think, if I recall correctly, it is the loader. So let me try to add them in. If it is possible to sweep up the tops, I'd happily do it, just to make it cleaner. And then we would want conductive wiring here. And just as a proof of concept, let's have rails like this. As a proof of concept. This is not how I'd actually build it. So, taking a look at my water or glass forge area. Okay, so we are making a little bit of progress here. The next thing I wanted to do is add a gas pump here. Maybe right like, let's see, how do I want to manage this? I'm going to mine out a little bit more, just so that we have more working room. I don't need a ton of room, but I don't want the slime so close to my setup. Alright, someone just got the first sunburn. Probably someone working up top in space, I'd imagine. It was Angelia. So sunburns are, sorry for cycling so fast. Sunburns are stress-inducing. So if we take a look at the sunburn here, as you can see, plus 20% stress per cycle, or per day, however you want to call a cycle. So it's going to be important not to allow our guys to get overly sunburnt. Alright, yeah, so here you go. Scan quality, 81%, due to this conveyor loader. That was exactly as I feared. So this top section here, you can't, I won't really be able to clean this up. I'll be able to clean up, if I wanted to, this stuff down here on the mesh tile with sweepies, but that would be about it. Alright, so one of the things I was going to do is put some bunker tiles. Let's put them over a little bit more. I'd have to experiment with this. I will need actually one more door on each side. It's not perfectly symmetrical either. So if I have one more door on each side, I don't even need bunker tiles. I could just do mesh. And mesh. Okay. So that's for the sweepy area. And then here, I'm just going to bunker off the edge, like that. I might set it up. No, I can just bunker off the edge, I think. That's fine. And I've used a ton of steel. This is actually why I've been making steel the whole time. Like oodles and oodles and oodles of steel. Alright, the automation wire needs to extend. And then power needs to extend. Set up the construction priorities. Alright, still a little bit of a proof of concept. I'm not 100% sure it will work the way I plan or intend, but we will see. Alright, taking a look back down here, we still have a little bit more to dig out. Set these to 6s. And then the sweep set to 9, just so I get rid of the, I need to get rid of all this debris here if I'm going to be volcano taming. So I'm going to require it to be very, very, very high priority. All right, telescope idle. We just keep scanning. Just keep on scanning. All right, my power seems to be fine, holding nicely. This is not so hot. Good. That's really good. Oh, speaking of temperature, yeah. So the mealwood is okay. I'm gonna leave these wheezeworts in to really bring the temperature down a lot. For some reason, the branches of that one weren't set to auto harvest. Alright, so this is sort of the idea I had in mind. So what I would do here is put a sweepy dock. And that would help me sweep up the bottom. It would not do anything for the regolith or whatever gets trapped up here. I'd have to do that manually, and I don't think I would say, you know, unless someone proposes a really, really, really elegant solution, it's not something I think I'm going to bother fixing. And just a little reminder, the reason why I have these is so that my auto miners don't get buried in regolith when the bunker doors retract. There are some ways to remove it. Like, I know that, for instance, there's a mechanized airlock method of removing debris. It's just not a method I cared to use. This is a personal preference, and just one I'm not likely to change my mind about. Just to throw that out, I know there's alternative methods, but some of these methods I just don't intend to use. Is, I guess, the long and short of it. All right. I'm gonna build an extra refrigerator, because it seems like I have a whole bunch of sort of rotting food that doesn't need to rot. Okay, so the wheezeworts are definitely taking care of that temperature. Now I do have a super high priority sweep here, and this is so that we prep the area for volcano taming. I don't think I really need sweep out there. So actually, what I'll do is the priority of all of this will go to 9. And it will take these guys a little while to ready this area the way I want it to be readied. But that's the next big task. It's getting that readied. The trouble with this is it's very, very, very far from my checkpoints. As you can see, there's a lot of running involved. So it's going to be a while to clean it up and get it ready. Alright, I also want to remove all of this. Ooh, it's slime lunged. That's not good at all. I want to remove that so that we don't introduce slime lung into a sensitive part of the base. But let me get a buddy bud out here to help with the slime lung. I didn't realize there was slime lung so close. But it makes sense. I mean, I just released a whole bunch of slime, so I don't know why it wouldn't occur to me. Alright, so all of this, let's set this to 8. And I will be working around, I'll just do it like this. I will be working around this sort of old ruin type stuff, so it kind of sucks that it's there. But the other 2 volcanoes that I have at handy, this one's abuts the base immediately, as does this one, so they aren't to be, you know, they're too close. They're just too close. This is for body temperature. Yep, temperatures are definitely climbing a little bit here and there. Nothing that absolutely concerns me, and nothing that says that I need, like, central AC or anything like that, but it's something to keep an eye on. Alright, space. So here, what's watch, regolith be mind. So it will entomb the space scanners briefly, and then they'll get back up. The regolith on top of the mesh tile protects the auto miners from being entombed. And if we take a look at the temperature here, the entombed space scanner here did get quite hot. It's made of steel, so here, let me show me your temperature. I don't even. Melting point is 2400 C. So, like, we're so far from melting point that it's a non-issue. But I would like some sort of permanent solution to prevent destruction of my sort of observatory area. So this refrigerator, copy and paste the settings, and we'll set this to an 8. 1 lower. And now we can store some of these spare foods. At this point, I don't really have I don't really have a power bottleneck, so I don't really need to worry about foods. Okay, the stone hatches, I don't know what happened to them, but they're in a severe die-off situation here. I don't really think I need that much more coal, but let's incubate a whole bunch of new stones. And it looks like some of the glossies, here's some spillover. So what happened here is I allow really anything to get dropped in here. You know, this is sort of for excess population. So what I could do is, how old is this Dreco? 11. So what I could do alternatively is wrangle this Dreco, wrangle this glossy Dreco, and then find old ones to kill off. And this is labor intensive. I could always make like a drowner or something like that, but here's an old one. And you'll be barbecue soon. You're kind of older. All right, this one will do. There, done. Power looks good. Alright, so here's the sweepy dock. Now, because, well, let's see. I don't know if I'm far enough. Let me make a conveyor loader here and see. I think it's 14 tiles. Yep, so this is far enough. So, heavy machinery has a negative effect on space scanners up to 14 tiles away, and I think this is 15 tiles away, meaning that it is safe to put a scanner in there. Funny enough, it is the conveyor loaders that are heavy machinery. It is not an auto sweeper as far as it is not the auto sweeper. It is just the conveyor loader. So conveyor loaders are ultimately the problem. So if that is the case, This side, because my base is not exactly symmetrical, this might not be far enough. I'm going to bump this steel wall out a little bit, just to be able to put it on the other side of the sweepy. And that should help to tidy up a little bit and remove some heat from the mesh flooring. Not a ton, but I will also run AC lines eventually, as I keep saying. Just one project at a time. Alright, high pressure gas vent. So this area is definitely getting the gold star treatment for cleaning. Not done there. So we'll have that tidied up. And then let's fight the... the slime lung germ. With this buddy bud. Telescope's idle again. Ooh, a shattered planet. Alright, now there's just 2 pips in here, and I also have a pip egg. It eventually will be... it will, quote-unquote, hatch. Oh, another thing I need to do is to set this to chlorine again. There we go. Oh, yeah, I should have set it to chlorine a lot earlier because I've been dumping chlorine out. Whatever, that just stops buddy bud nonsense. And that chlorine will eventually drop out because it's heavier and end up in my oil biome where it doesn't do so much harm. Because of our efforts of bringing the slime lung down, really there is just not slime lung over here, which is great. And this buddy bud soon will conquer the slime lung of this area. So let's, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Yeah, let me fix this. Let me actually have it be nice and square. There we go. I am not sure if I've done enough to bring the temperature down, but I'll check. Checking out on space. So the scan quality here. Okay, as you can see, I'm running out of power on these lines, these conduit lines. The issue here is there is. Oh, why is it running out of power? It's just this is weird. What is going on? Why are some of the doors opening and some closing? You're still being struck. Let me check the automation here. No, the wires look fine. It is a lack of power. Really? I'm not generating enough power? Yeah, that would be true. So here is my time to shine. So the issue is that all of those doors all at once drained my batteries because it was such an immediate load of power. So here's what I'll do. I guess I already have thresholds up for this. So I will set these up to help supplement extra power. We need to deliver coal to that one. This is also when I could set up ethanol, or obviously I could also set up more hydrogen generators I would just need to build out this way or something like that. Also a pretty viable solution. It also means that it would be a good time to tune these up. And there we go. Because that's all it is. It's just each of these doors requiring 120 volts or watts. Not volts. 120 watts all at once is just a, you know, it is a crippling amount to deal with, I suppose. Is the way to put it. But that's fine. We'll generate power again. Whoa, look at all this carbon dioxide that we're building up. Dang, I really didn't think there was going to be this level of carbon dioxide. But I think it's because the irrigation here is low. And if I ran a water line out here, it'd be fine. I just need to change the farm tile to hydroponic farms. All right, as you can see, we are quickly building our power supply back up, and now our coal generators are idle. Damage overheated. Yeah. So these are because body temperature got too high. This is solvable. Let's do 4,500. And I will destroy that and replace it with steel so I don't have that issue in the future. Oh, hi. Yes. You should not be running right now. So we're just going to leave the neutronium there because I literally can't remove it even if I wanted to. Telescope's idle again. Keep on scanning further out. Okay, we're getting pretty close to all the sort of mop up, sweep up that we needed to, or wanted to do. And I know I'm doing terrible things to priority creep. I am aware. Oh, you didn't build that? Alright, I'm just trying to vacuum that out so we can easily replace what's in it. Alright, so now we've got, let me make sure that this isn't affecting the scan quality. 100% and 100%. Great. So now we have the ability to, well, alright, this would be 100%. Well, we have the ability to sort of sweep. So let's get this plugged in, and then we'll have conveyor rails. It's going to be very, very straightforward. Just going to get rid of it in a simple way. Filtering brine. All right, let me... Yes, this is ready. Almost ready to go. Okay, I just wanted to put these Weezeworts back. What is that pipe there? Oh, right. The yeah, of course it is. The gas pump that I removed. Wow, that heated up. Oh, that's fertilization. Oh, okay. That's a bit different. Alright, so this should be vacuum sealing soon. Okay, so in here, I'm going to allow all... the sweepy dock will be set to 1. And then the receptacle will have to... Oh, am I? Oh, it doesn't have room. Okay, so pause. So here's what I'm going to do. I want to just... I'll basically want to deal with this like the easiest way possible. So what I'll do is I'll set that up. It's going to be something like this. Okay, yeah, my power is recovered. Once I have significant solar panels, it won't be so much of an issue. Alright, so this is fertilization. We'll get it fertilized. I'm going to go back to making some steel again, because that will help out. I've been using a whole lot of it. So as far as this build goes, it's just going to be a very, very, very straightforward conveyor chute system like this. Nothing fancy. I'm just removing it from producing heat on the mesh tile. Debris, fortunately, does not produce heat very effectively. It doesn't change temperatures very effectively, I should say. So it's not heating things up as much as you think it is, but it is eventually going to heat things up as it's laying here, right? My plastic tiles here are pretty cooked. They're not. They're getting close-ish to the melting point, which is why I really want to sweep them up, but we'll get there. So now we're just dropping stuff right below, like that, just to get it out of the way. Telescope's idle again. All right, before my plastic roof starts to melt, let's make a good faith effort in removing all this material. There we go. And we have a chute here that needs to be built. But as you can see, this little sweepy is cleaning up. And we have a left and right sweepy because we separated out with the fire pole on the ladder. Alright, I would say the cleaning here is going to be 7. Because the left side's more important due to the plastic roof. Alright, so this is back to sort of normal temperatures. That's good. We have a lot more cleaning up here to do. I'll have this be 7s as well. I don't need to go that far out, but trying to get this area prepped. Now that this is set up, I can remove the vents and the power lines, will then stop the gas pump from pumping once I break these walls down. Okay, we already broke the walls, so everything here gets broken down, and now we'll have a space for a glass forge, which is pretty good. 633 cycles of fresh filtered water. Hey, what are you doing up here? I have no idea. As long as it's not causing harm. Well, whatever. Alright, there we go. Now we're removing debris from up here. And we have not negatively affected our scan quality. And yes, this stuff that's on the roofs will pose a forever problem. But it's really not that big of a deal. Other things I might be able to do. So we are here for quite some time. So let me try to make it a little bit nicer decor-wise. How much metal? Okay, 400 metal. So we should have enough for this. Yeah, it is pretty hot. But I don't think we're gonna have our roof melt. We're not quite at that temperature. And then you can see that some of my auto miners and some of the space scanners got a little hot as well. I will, as I mentioned, I will be setting up the some sort of coolant line, probably with a anti-entropy thermonullifier. I will be setting that up if that is a voted project for me to do. That's the caveat, of course. Okay, so we are getting close. This looks great. Over here, where the forge is going to go, the, what is it called? Glass forge. I'm going to put a glass forge in here. So the glass forge is a little unique in that it makes molten glass that then you need to cool down so that you can, so it doesn't, you know, so it forms into a solid. Okay, done scanning again. And what's the decor now? This is better. But we can go even better. What was this? Made out of lead? Yeah, let's not make it out of lead. Let's make a little bit more gold. Okay, so we have a glossy in here. That should get wrangled. And let's kill an old one. Here, you're old. Sorry, barbecue. Alright, so this is all pure oxygen, which is why I vacuumed it up. Now, I'm sure you can see that the auto sweeper and the conveyor loader are also detrimentally heating up. And I'm going to want temp shift plates for them as well. Or eventually they will cook themselves to death. They'll just, you know, they'll keep running and running and running until they get damaged from the heat and require repair or demolish themselves. So we will add temp shift plates, and then all those temp shift plates, so if you're, all it does is really, they're just like heat spreaders. That's all they are. They're just heat spreaders. So for the temp shift plates to truly work, what I need to do is I need to then be running a coolant line. It's a little involved to run coolant lines, which is why I'm waiting and I'm hesitant until I need it. But it's possible that that my current setup will require it soon. Okay, I don't have enough gold. I need to forge some melted refined gold. I think we're about to do it. I see them delivering. Well, this episode seems to be prepping a volcano area, but it does take some time. Alright, so the body temperature here stopped the buddy bud from working. I'll add a Wheezewort next to it to help out. I'm curious. No, there's not really too many hotspots. I mean, one could argue that there's a definitely a bit of a hotspot here in the kitchen, and I can fix that. I'll break these marble sculptures down for metal ones, which have just as high decor, but don't take up as much room. And then that allows me to put in some Wheezeworts to fix this kitchen hotspot. And of course, the kitchen's gonna be a hotspot. It's a grill. I mean, it makes sense. Okay, we haven't smelted enough gold yet. Well, that will come in a minute. Okay, I don't think I'm at risk of my roof melting. I hope. Can't say for certain, it is pretty hot. But I think I have enough, yeah, I do have enough diamond for shift plates here as well. Now, if I wanted to, I could also filter and sort. So I could pull metals from the regolith, because obviously I don't need that much regolith unless I'm doing something with it. There's no purpose in collecting regolith, because there's just no need for the amount of filtration medium that regolith provides, to be honest. But yeah, until I actually need regolith for some reason, I'm not even going to worry about it. Alright, so here's the Wheezeworts for the heat here. And we still need to refine... Oh, we are refining a little bit more gold. But we need a little bit more gold refined for the all the art that I want to put in. I'm trying to maximize morale as much as I can. And some of that is just going to be adding a whole lot of lovely decor around here. Okay. And more scanning. Oh, look, a terrestrial planet. And at this point, the sweepies are doing a pretty good job of taking care of the mesh tile surface here. And my dupes are trying to sweep up all the mass amounts of debris. It occurs to me, and I can very easily see that I am soon gonna be out of space. So let's build that quick. And then once this is cleaned up, if I ignore this regolith here, like forever, right? If I never really care about it, I don't need to sweep it ever. I'm only really sweeping the stuff that that is a problem. All right, copy settings, paste settings. So here's a little bit more storage space. And this is for Mafic and regolith only. It does mean that some of the metals that I reclaim from space will end up in storage bins in my base that are more temperature sensitive and probably producing heat. But it is just the nature of conquering space. You're going to have these sort of hiccups. Well, let me take a look. How ugly is it here? Do we really... Oh, it's already maximum decor. I don't need art there. It wouldn't help me at all. So once we get these Weezeworts in, the kitchen hotspot due to the grill and refrigerators should be greatly diminished. Just keep sweeping. Look at how reliable they are. They're great, aren't they? And if they get buried, they will be dug out by the robo-miners. But it is a lot of regolith. It's literal tons of regolith that they are trying to remove from the surface. But it's worth it. They'll get it done over time. Well, I think that's all the time I have for this episode. So, what did we do? We set up sort of space cleaning, some rudimentary space cleaning without using any complicated techniques or anything like that. We have annexed an area for our glass forge so that I can make solar power panels. Let me just demonstrate that real quick. Solar power panels require 200 kilograms of glass, and they produce basically free power once you have the glass. When they have exposure to space, to direct sunlight. So we'll next episode, I'll probably start on the glass forge. While I'm staring here, let me put a planter box in. And then we have started to excavate around this volcano so I can lay out what I want to do, how I want to build for volcano taming. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below, in case I missed something or misspoke or whatever has you. Thank you all so very much for watching. I will catch you all next episode. Farewell, everybody.